The Mediterranean diet was named the best diet in 2019. But what is it about this style of eating that helps prevent heart disease and other health problems? We've got two insiders with all the answers.
What happened was researchers were observing that people around the Mediterranean had lower incidence rates of heart disease. So they started investigating what are they doing, to live a longer and healthier life. So that research goes into the study of blue zones, which some of them are around the Mediterranean, but some of them are also around the world. And in looking at that, they realized there's this lifestyle, and the Mediterranean eating pattern is what they have in common, but there's also some lifestyles such as reduced stress, a strong spiritual connection as well, and strong social ties. So there's these lifestyle factors, but a core of it is also what they're eating.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Chef, what is unique about this style of eating? As you said, it's freshness, but can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So it's freshness. I did speak on the species diversity. The diet itself is very rich in legumes, which are very heart healthy. They contain a lot of fiber, which carries a lot of the cholesterol out of the body.
Right.
Provides an excellent source of fuel over the long term. You will see things in the diet that are like gelato, but the portion size is
It's not a tub of ice cream.
It's not a tub of ice cream. It's not a pint. It's a little taste
Right.
just to kind of get you through, right? There is a lot of walking. So you imagine the cities are not built, the old world cities are not built like our cities.
Right.
They're very close to the earth, and if you need to get bread, you go to the baker. If you need to get fish, you go to the fish purveyor. So, and also walking to work, a lot of bicycling, and that continues on to this day.
Absolutely, they both coexist. Now we're going to continue this conversation, but I do want to remind our viewers that if you have a question for the chef or for Lucette, please call in. That number is 855-796-4475. We'd love to hear from you. Now, I also want to talk about the benefits, and we have a great video here from the Mayo Clinic that talks a little bit about the science behind the diet. So let's take a look at that.
What if I told you there was a diet that could not only help you manage your weight, but also could help you live longer?
It really helps us reduce many diseases, not just heart disease, also Alzheimer's. It reduces almost all cancers, reduces arthritis. It's an anti-inflammatory diet, and so you have less joint pain.
While it may seem too good to be true, it's not. Dr. Stephen Kopetsky, a Mayo Clinic cardiologist, says it stands up to scrutiny.
It's one of the most studied diet we have, and in tens of thousands of patients, and been shown to be very helpful for us.
It's less restrictive than many fad diets out there.
It's very easy to do, and it can be very inexpensive. More fruits and vegetables.
Also, more fish and lean meats.
It's really one of the highest fat diets after the keto diet because it's more monounsaturated fat from olive oil, avocado oil, nuts, things like that. It more goes back to the way we used to eat, there's many years we've been on this planet.
Dr. Kopetsky says the Mediterranean diet could really improve your health.
I want to go over the main principles of Mediterranean eating. And Chef, if you can help break this down, plant-based.
Sure.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So plant-based means the majority of the meals that you're eating you're getting the protein from plant sources.
Okay.
So I mentioned earlier legumes, seeds, nuts. It's also important to remember that everything living has protein, right? You'll notice that the recipes have a lot of vinegar and a lot of things like this in them. That helps your body break it down so you can get to those proteins.
And it also recommends 2 times a week fish or seafood.
Correct.
And we like that.
Why wouldn't you eat fish if it's
Right.
coming right from the sea? Fish and seafood. And the fish, it's typically prepared, grilled, or sautéed.
Yes, we're not frying our
fried
salmon
fish.
or fish.
No.
And that is obviously because it has a high concentration of the omega-3, correct?
Correct. You want to get those omega-3s in your body. They're super important. They fight inflammation. They lead to healthy heart. There's also, they help you with your memory and things like that. So that's super important to get. Moderate portions of dairy, eggs, and poultry.
Let's emphasize that moderate. What does that mean?
Sure. So an egg a day, right? That's pretty moderate. 4 eggs a day, that's excessive,
Okay.
right? So typically what you'll see when you order an omelet, you'll see it's a 3-egg omelet.
Yes.
And that's a lot. That's a lot.
So we should be asking maybe for 1 or 2.
1 or 2, or forego the omelet and just get the soft-boiled eggs or something like that.
Okay, that's a good tip. And meat, red meat and sweets. With red meat, they're recommending once a week maybe?
Yeah.
If that?
So I want to just kind of dig into the history. Red meat is very expensive and resource heavy to grow and to harvest. So typically you won't see cow pastures and things like that. You'll see sheep and lamb. And you're also getting your dairy from those sheep and lamb. So it's harvested around feast times, and it's less prevalent.
Right, absolutely. Okay, Lucy, I want you to help us understand the Mediterranean diet pyramid.
Yes.
So what is it that we're looking for? What is the eating pattern that we're seeing in this pyramid?
Yes, so we already started talking about what the Mediterranean eating style looks like, and now the pyramid helps show it graphically. So
I like that little
let's
bottle
start
of
at the
wine right
bottom.
there.
Oh, we're about to get to that, but we're going to start with the bottom. So notice what's in the largest quantity is that social factor around meals. So you see people sharing their meals, you see people moving around. So we already talked about the Mediterranean lifestyle, how Chef said that people walk to the bakery to pick up their bread. There's more walking happening. So we start with that lifestyle factor at the base of the pyramid. Then we see that majority of the pyramid visually is plant-based. So where do we get our plant-based foods? It's from whole grains, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, and of course, last but not least, our fruits and our veggies. So
Right.
that's the majority base of the pyramid.
And it's
where
very
you get
colorful.
Most of your, yes.
Yeah,
our
so-
fruits, our veggies are colorful. Whole grains. I mean, how many times do we hear that people want to diet and cut their carbs? But look at this way of eating that we know will improve heart health and include longevity. It includes your whole grains. You can't just cut carbs.
No. Carbs are not the enemy.
It's
everyone.
in moderation.
In
Yeah.
moderation, okay.
So notice how, that part of the pyramid. As we go up a step, we talked a little bit right now about seafood. American Heart Association recommends fatty fish twice a week. So that's also similar to Mediterranean eating style.
Okay.
So any seafood, specifically fatty fish. So we have some examples of like tuna, sardines, also salmon. Another one that's not listed here is like herring, which may not be as commonly found, but any seafood. Why? Because it's naturally low in saturated fat. And then as we go up the pyramid, we see poultry, dairy, eggs. So notice it's just more
It's getting
moderate,
thinner,
limited,
pyramid,
not
right.
as frequent.
Okay.
Maybe cutting back on those omelet eggs, but it doesn't mean you have to forego the omelet altogether.
Right.
At the very top, we see sweets and treats. So it shows how moderation, you don't have to be all or nothing. It's just more about moderation. Stronger emphasis on that plant base, literally the base of the pyramid. And then off to the right side, we saw that little wine bottle and water. So staying hydrated with water, keeping wine, if you drink, choosing something like wine in moderation, which is 1 glass a day per woman, 2 glasses per day for men. And that's only if you drink, and also keep it around social food occasions.
You can watch more of the interview, including a recipe from Chef Rod Knight. It's so yummy. Just download the Health Channel app. Remember, if you have a question, reach out. You can send us an email by visiting our website, allhealthtv.com, or give us a call, 855-796-4475.